Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I have a question.
You got a cool shirt on, Davey.
Jimmy.
Hey.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson ASA shirt.
Do you want to divulge how much money you paid for that shirt on the show, or
No,
okay.
I don't.
Weird.
I mean, I've never seen this shirt in my entire life.
It was a lot, but it was worth it because it made Davey really, really happy for his birthday.
Correct.
Happy birthday
stop.
to
No, absolutely not. I'll leave this. I'll make you edit things. I'll say the F word. I don't care.
Somebody serve me, not Davey. Oh my God, serve me Joe.
Yes, serve
I have a question.
Yeah. Yep.
Speak your truth.
If I gave you guys like 24 hours, how many different just things do you think you could name? Like nouns, like just different things.
Just nouns?
Anything.
I
How
get 24 hours?
You have 24 hours. Do you think you can name 10 grand or 10,000?
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay, how many minutes are in 24 hours?
I have a question. If I say vegetable, can I then go through like all the different types of vegetable, or am I stuck? Okay,
those are all different things.
All right, I'm just, because there's one that it describes every, and then...
Yeah. Now, you can't Google it. It has to be things from your brain.
Can it be names?
Of real people, yeah. It can't just be like a name, because then that's a name. That's not a noun. It's got to be like a person.
But names are nouns.
But it's got to be a person.
But names are... So it has to be a proper... What? No, not proper noun.
It just has to be a person. A person, place, or thing. Joe, a person, place, or thing.
Oh, man.
Or an idea. That's also a noun.
Or an idea.
Yeah.
Like Batman.
That's a reference.
I'm just saying. Person, place, or thing. You don't gotta complicate it.
I'm not complicating it. I'm asking about the rules. Yeah, I could probably say 10 grand.
You say you could name 10,000 things?
Yeah, probably.
I just did the math, because there's 86,000 seconds in a day, so... If you name something every 8 seconds, then yeah.
I'll give you a week, and I'll pay you $10 if you come back next week with 10,000 things in a Google Doc.
I don't even know if I know 10,000 things, like in general.
Well, if he gives you a week, you don't have to know 10,000 things.
Yeah. I don't even see. This is like a question that I don't even know how to quantify. Like, I can't even imagine how many things is 10,000.
Matt, just be ready to peep your DMs, okay? You're about to make $5.
Oh God! This is twice in a row my mom has called me in the middle of the podcast. I need to
my God!
I need to not ignore this one.
Professional.
All right.
Let me make sure that my phone is on silent. Anyway, I think you guys should.
Matthew's muted.
He's
having a fun time. He's on the phone.
You guys should see.
Oh, he's taking us off his ears. He's taking us off his ears.
You guys should hear my offer and name 10,000 things. I think I could do it.
I think I could do it.
I think I could do that. I think I could do it if I had. I bet with 3 good days of naming, where instead of flinging myself around on Rocket League, I'm just in Google Docs, just typing stuff.
I mean, you could probably do 10,000 names if you think about it. You could probably do 100 race car drivers. You could probably do more than 100. You could probably do 200, 300 race car drivers. You could probably do 300, 400 football players.
I mean, it adds up quick. The only thing that's going to be a detriment is your typing speed. Yeah. Because race car drivers, sports players,
that's true.
Sports leagues, teams.
But it doesn't have to be names of just people. I can say dog and bed. And chair.
Dog, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there's probably a good 100 things in this room that I'm in.
There are so many things.
Right. This is a good thought experiment because there's a lot of things that you know.
Yeah.
You probably know at least 10,000. You probably know 100,000 things, honestly.
Oh yeah, but you don't access all of them in your brain all at once. That's why it seems like such a scary number. But really, when you think about it.
When your brain...
I probably referenced 10,000 things today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's interesting. It's a good thought experiment.
Mm-hmm.
I do really like your shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
I do. Nice shirt. It looks really good. I'm surprised how clean it is. I know it was probably new old stock, but...
It was basically brand new when I pulled it out. It was
That's pretty
pristine,
cool.
perfect.
Because that's team has whatever.
That's Herzog.
Herzog.
Yeah.
Team Hesmans.
Herzog.
Loris
Hey,
Hesmans.
I have a shirt. I have a shirt for an ASA stock car team. That is nuts.
ASA isn't around anymore, right?
I don't think so.
That's sad.
It's a cool series, though.
American Sim Association, ASA, right?
Yep, that's what it is.
Yep.
Remember
Go ahead.
Remember? Sorry, we're gonna talk about fake racing again real quick.
That's all right.
No. Remember the there's an there's like a 90s ASA mod.
Yeah.
For NR 2003 or late 80s, early 90s or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that mod looks so good.
Yeah, the USRL should really use that instead of.
Apparently, the reason everyone's complaining about it when they try to run it is because it's the template used to paint on it's really bad, and I think that's a lame reason.
That's a lame excuse.
I think that's a lame reason.
Who cares if the template's bad to paint on? Be a good artist.
That's see. Okay,
it's a
I
challenge.
wouldn't say that.
Well,
but
okay.
I will say
we all know that I'm a little brash sometimes.
You are just a little bit.
A little bit. And what I say, I don't usually mean.
Well,
not in the way I say it, at least.
Fair enough. I can respect that. Man,
like
what a good-looking mod.
I like challenges.
What a good-looking mod. It's good stuff. It's kind of like it kind of looks like kind of Trans Am-y, and I know people have painted Trans Am car sets on that mod.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, just
because
cool.
What it's probably got a Camaro in it. Probably what else does it have in it?
God, I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure Excel Racing. We used it over there.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It'd be really cool if we could use it though. It's a cool mod. Sorry, we're talking about NR.
How did the USORL RX thing go?
It was fun.
It was fine. I think a lot of people were overreacting a little bit, and that's okay. Well, I think they know that they were.
We don't have to get into that, but
no. It's fine. Like I don't harbor any ill will towards anyone. I
do.
I think it went really well, and the car count wasn't as good as we expected it to be, and I understand that that's upsetting for someone who puts in a lot of work. But it was a holiday weekend. But for the weekend that we had, and the amount of people that we had, and all the factors that led to whatever happening, the race itself was fantastic.
Yeah, it was fun. So
the race was good.
Matt actually raced in his own league.
I was really happy. Matt, I was very happy you raced.
I had fun. I've been planning on running the USRX stuff, and I'm planning on running Season 9 again. So
I get it. When Fast 29's broadcasting, you race. When JTN's broadcasting, you don't race. I get it.
Yeah.
Listen, Matt, I gotta tell you, you gotta invest some time somewhere down the road and run Next L.
I'm planning on it. I was busy yesterday, so
I like, this series will be a fun little gag. This is a cool little throwback to a year that not a lot of people really care about, but it's still like a nostalgia hit for a lot of people. It'll be cool. The racing has been phenomenal every week. Fontana and Atlanta have probably been two of the best sim racing races I've been a part of in a while. It's just been so good. The racing's been good. Like everyone has fun. It was just such a good time. We had 2 green flag stops last night to end off a run, and the margin of victory was under 3/10.
Yeah, I saw that. That's cool.
All backed up together. I think the total margin of victory over the entire season so far still isn't over a second. Over 3 races. It's just been awesome.
I've been wanting to. I just haven't gone around to paint my car yet, and I've been busy 3 Mondays in a row. So I'm planning on being there. Maybe I'll paint my car after this. So we'll see.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be cool to have you. But anyway,
you guys ready to light this popsicle stand?
We got a show to record here, boys.
We do. This is the Fake Racers podcast.
It is indeed.
You know who we are, but if you don't, I'm Joe.
I'm Davey.
I'm Matthew.
And we're gonna take you through another great week of racing and drama.
Unironically, too.
Drama. And fire.
So,
a lot of fire.
Southern 500. It's a pretty big race if you didn't already know.
It is. Labor Day weekend, baby.
Yep.
We had our 17th winner of the year.
We did indeed.
That is such an absurd number.
That is wild. That is big. I don't think anyone
I think we're going to get to 18.
Who do you think is going to be the next winner?
I think we can get to 19.
Who do you think is going to be the next two winners?
Bubba and Truex.
Yeah,
it's a good shout. Truex is a probable one. Yeah,
I think Bubba can win this weekend.
We have the Roval coming up. Allmendinger could win that.
Yeah,
so.
That's a good point.
Bam.
We could get 20 winners. That's weird. I don't even want to think about
that. Would be
let's move on.
2/3 of the full-time field winning a race would be
that is
absurd.
Insane.
Oh my gosh.
But Erik Jones, first win for Petty GMS. I'm trying not to be an idiot here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to keep my a journalistic integrity.
Joe.
What?
When Parker Kligerman won that truck race earlier this year.
I'm not going to scream.
Oh, do it.
No, because
so you don't get
late.
opportunities to.
Yeah, but it's 11 p.m. We're recording this. It's late.
Do
that sounds like
a hush scream.
Ah.
It's not what I meant.
I know.
But
you got that really cool blurry filter.
Why's my camera going so out of focus? Good lord, what is going on? I can't refocus it either. It just decided to do that.
I guess you have to be right up on it now.
That's okay.
Oh, it's doing something.
It's trying.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Oh.
There he is.
Hey,
look at that.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, Erik Jones wins the Southern 500. He becomes the second youngest driver to win it twice, behind Jeff Gordon. I saw some really cool numbers today because, again,
I knew you were gonna bring this up.
Erik Jones is a driver that a lot of people like to say is not good. His numbers are better than Kevin Harvick's numbers at this point in his career. That's pretty funny. Also, he's the same age as some other pretty young drivers at better teams, if not younger. Alex Bowman and Chase Briscoe.
I saw that tweet where listing off like his stats through his first 5 years or whatever, or his age 26 season, and I was like, I bet you Joe liked this, and then I saw the thing at the top. I was like, Joe Twinsky liked this. And I was like, yep.
Yeah, you always know.
No, it's a big win, and we're going to talk about the things that kind of led up to it here in a couple seconds. But non-playoff guy, first time a non-playoff guy's won the first race, which I didn't realize that was a thing, but I guess it is. Obviously, this kind of, again, the 17 winners thing is big, but for a team that, again, this is the RPM 43 team just with backing, right? I think is the big thing. There's more technical backing there. They have more resources. Maury Gallagher and GMS have invested a lot of money into getting setup plates at the shop at GMS, and I think are they in Statesville? I forget where they are, but they're somewhere in there. They're not welcome anymore. Is the big thing. Big thing is they're not welcome anymore.
Are they not welcome there anymore?
No, they're not welcome there anymore. Especially after letting go of Ty Dillon, right?
This one's gonna drag on.
But my point being is, when you invest in a team and you invest in a good driver, you get results. They've gotten really good results this year. I see a lot of people saying that, shouldn't win it. Probably didn't think he was going to win a race. I thought he was going to win a race pretty much after Fontana.
Oh yeah, he's had great speed all
because again, you put these young drivers, and it doesn't matter if it's Erik Jones. It could be Noah Gragson next year. It can be a Justin Haley. It can be a Christopher Bell. It can Daniel Suarez, Ross Chastain. Some of these younger guys are at least less experienced, running in good equipment guys. Mm-hmm. If you put them in positions to win consistently at a higher clip than you have in years previous, eventually they're going to be able to figure it out a little bit quicker. And did it take the 43 team, a big lucky circumstance with Kyle Busch blowing up right in front of him and Martin Truex Jr. losing a belt off the engine? Sure, it did. But again, they put themselves in position throughout the race. They climbed up through the field. They took advantage of their driver, and this is what you see all the good teams across the sport do. You take advantage of your driver's skill set. How many times have you said on this show that Martin Truex Jr. gets exactly what he has in his car out of his car?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And that is what Cole Pearn was so good at with getting out of Martin Truex Jr., giving him a really good race car, knowing that he was going to get a good result. If you gave him a bad race car, he was going to get a bad result. That's just how it was. So, in doing that, you have to find those right crew chiefs. And seeing a guy like Dave Ellens get his first win, and you got the Michigan connection there, which is awesome, but just really cool. 200th win for the 43. We can say all these things. I'm just really happy, and I thought I was going to be a little more emotional after he won. I think I was still in kind of shock that he won when he won, honestly, because it's you don't see blue smoke coming out of two sides of a race car very often in 2022. So, yeah, I was really happy. I wore all my Erik Jones stuff yesterday when I went out to the store. So,
hey, do you guys think Joe thought about this win? Matt, do you think Joe thought about this win a little bit? And
just maybe a little bit.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, they've been knocking on the door, winning all year. So
should have won Talladega.
It was only a matter of time.
Made a mistake. Hey, he made a mistake. He didn't spotter. Made a mistake. Yeah. That was on them. But
yep.
It was the same thing with Daniel Suarez earlier this year, Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick. They, you can only knock on the door so long before you got to kick it down.
Yep.
So, Kevin Harvick has some pretty Enfuego. Chase Elliott was out early in the race. That's what we got to start with. He has used up his 40-point gap to the cut line. He's still, I think, 15 or 12 points to the good because a lot of other playoff drivers had issues.
Yeah.
Chase Elliott's been a little weird lately.
Like the dude, yeah.
Like the last 5 weeks.
Yeah, Chase Elliott's been
ever since his hot streak kind of petered out.
I don't know what I want to call it because he doesn't necessarily seem all that miserable, but he kind of does.
He's got a tude problem, man.
Yeah, he's a little
tude.
He's a little sassy. You think he's pregnant?
I don't know if you can say that.
I think he just needs to grow. Instead of growing out the handlebar mustache that he had, he needs to go full dastardly villain and just be sinister Chase Elliott and just be evil.
Hey, shout out to him for showing emotion again that we have criticized him for, and a lot of people have, right?
Yeah.
But it's just something's off. I don't know if Watkins Glen is still sitting wrong in his craw or
But he was kind of weird before that too.
Well, yeah. He's been weird since before. Michigan was awful for the 9 team, right? They didn't have speed. I think he admitted that. I'm sure Alan Gustafson would admit it. That's a track that they've usually performed pretty well at, and they couldn't crack the top 10.
Yeah.
But ever since that, Atlanta win?
Yeah.
Because, I know he got Pocono, but not really, right?
Yeah. Even that he was weird about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
wonder. Something in the team.
He's just been weird.
Yeah.
Don't know if they said, "Hey Chase, you're winning too much. Let's redistribute some of your resources." Let's try to help the 24 and 48 perform a little bit better.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
The way they've been. I know William Byron just got a top 10, but
for the first time since Martinsville,
Sonoma
yeah.
Top 10.
Jesus. That's the thing. Yeah. People are like, "Oh, Hendrick's so good with the deck." No, they're not.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
They're team as a whole. Good. Gibbs maybe.
I think they're fine. Hendrick's fine.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been one team that's distinguished themselves like we've seen with new cars in the past.
Yeah, I think people also are
not to that extent.
Wrapped up in just how dominant Hendrick was last year. Because if you look at most 4-car teams in history, most teams would kill to have their worst driver 12th in points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Most 2-car teams would kill for that.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Kevin Harvick's car combusts spontaneously into flames.
It's happened a bunch of times to Stewart-Haas cars this year too, which is weird.
Two times?
It's happened to Custer 3 times.
It's happened to Fords more frequently.
Yeah.
But it's happened to all the manufacturers. So Harvick, and I wish I would have got the audio and I could have played it for you guys, but I'm sure you guys saw the comments that he made because they were pretty freaking funny.
they were like
very pointed,
as bold as you can get.
Yeah. So
same with Rodney Childers' tweets as well.
Which I take more stock of when it comes to the car.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kevin Harvick's coming from a perspective is, I was on fire and I don't know why, and they won't fix it, and I'm on fire. Yeah. Rodney's at least got CAD models and engineering knowledge and all that type of stuff.
Naturally,
right?
The crew chief.
So I would think I take more stock in his, and seeing his comments be that far. Maybe he's taking something from his driver. I don't know. NASCAR did announce some changes today. They're going to allow teams to kind of cut out a panel there. That should help alleviate some of because what it is they have this the composite material, and the composite material is more flammable than stainless steel, which is what they're going to replace it with. They're also advising teams to drop the exhaust as low, as far down as they can, away from the rocker boxes. So I don't know how that's going to work, but whatever. Congratulations, you got yourself an extra inch clearance. Woohoo! I don't know how any of this stuff works. I wish I did. Wish I had CAD models. But my point being, these aren't the changes that I think people want, and it's kind of troubling to see people. Ricky actually sent out a really good tweet last week. And I retweeted it from the JTN account talking about how all these people, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're seeing. They just know that, the car's not safe, blah, 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 blah. And it's almost like they're rooting for someone to get really hurt or something really bad to happen. And you have to be really careful when you are talking about this in a public sphere. And this isn't about drivers, this is about fans. You have to be really careful with what you say and how you say it. Because it's not like NASCAR wants these guys to get hurt. Which Harvick kind of insinuated. Correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of made it out like, they don't care. Which, to a degree, I understand where he's coming from. Very much the rollout of this car was money over safety, money over anything. That's why this car got rolled out like it did, in the shape it did. But that was never going to be stopped, which I don't think people give put enough stock in. Because it already got delayed a year. And teams had already made budgets for the car being here in 2021. So, is it fair criticism to a degree? But to say they don't care about the safety might be where you kind of cross the line.
It's a little hyperbolic,
I think that is also just a level of exaggeration from the fans who routinely find reasons to criticize NASCAR, whether right or wrong. The nature in which they do that, I feel like, is what is usually put into question. And then as far as Kevin Harvick goes, I'm not surprised that a driver who was just on fire is going to throw a little bit of exaggeration
and
in
a driver that throws everyone else under the buses off whenever he gets the chance, right? I mean,
fair point.
That's Kevin Harvick, and that's fine. Very successful person. It's fine.
And I mean, at the end of the day, I think we're looking at another one of the things that NASCAR will probably look at changing over the off season, when they can manufacture a bunch of new parts and get them out all in time to all the teams while we're not racing. So
they're in a position where especially with not just the fire thing, but with the impacts that people have been taking, obviously you're in a position where you can't really do it now because of where we are into the season. But I think a lot of the hyperbolic reaction stems from frustration from fans and drivers, because we saw this coming over a year ago. And whether or not those rumors were true, NASCAR basically just went, nope, nothing's wrong. And that, well, clearly it is, and whether or not there was something they could do in that time, it seems like they're negligent whether or not they are. So.
Yeah, and I know they even made changes to the car last November, and that's nice. But the whole time they kind of, like, even some of the interviews that I saw back then, they were very confident in the safety of the next gen car, which they should be. But
the last thing you want to do is go out there and be like, this car is super unsafe, we got to change it.
Yeah,
obviously I understand why they took the PR strategy they did. But
it's dangerous because it comes back and they get a little bit of egg on their face when we have what we have this year, where drivers are complaining and things are happening at a consistent rate, not just one-offs where one driver may have said it's a lot of drivers saying they're taking hard hits.
Do you remember when the wheels weren't safe?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's gone away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the difference with that, though, is that's a problem that you can, practice for. So,
yeah. What the easiest course of action that NASCAR could take at this time is allow teams some more room when it comes to driver comfort, is what I would assume. I don't know how much it's going to help, right? But giving them ways where they can do different things with the seats. But
yeah,
with the way the chassis is right now, with the way the box tubing is structured on the back end, which again, another good part about this car being modular is the fact that, hey, we could just change the rear clip. We don't have to change the entire chassis. It's not all one piece.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, and I'm just thinking about that now, but that's another thing to think about. They're not going to tell teams, hey, we're going to change the chassis on you, because again, you can't fabricate 40 of these in a week.
Yeah.
That's why you had so many problems at the beginning of the year. So it's just it's a cat and mouse game between the drivers and the sanctioning body right now about what to say, how to say it, when to say it. Denny Hamlin sitting out of the Xfinity race, I think, was a big thing.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere too.
How much of that do you think maybe was a little bit of a statement too, on top of?
Oh, I think he's one of the leaders for the driver council at this point in the garage area. I think it was a lot of a statement. Also, you got to think he's running for the playoffs. He's not going to risk getting hurt, not going to hurt himself more driving. I mean, Darlington's a tough, rough racetrack.
Yeah.
So
last racetrack, you want to pull a double header right after getting your bell rung.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. It's troubling. NASCAR painted themselves in this box, put themselves in this box. It's their own fault. But asking them to change something right now, like they can flip a light switch, is probably not the right way to go about things. Fair?
Yeah.
Fair.
Kyle Busch is the bigger story. Blew up. Kaboom. He's outside of the playoffs right now. Obviously, the contract stuff looms. A very, very nice interview from Kyle. Juxtapose that with his interview after this race last year. Where almost the same thing happened. No, he got involved in a wreck, I think, last year. But nonetheless, he got knocked out of the race.
Yeah.
Very complimentary of his crew, which is new for Kyle.
I was gonna say very un-Kyle Busch last.
Oh man.
Which kind of points towards, the writing on the wall that we've all seen throughout the summer, that he's not going to be back in the 18. There's a reason Ty Gibbs is in the 23 and not John Hunter Nemechek like the original plan was.
Yep.
So, nonetheless, this kind of Kyle Swan song is going to be very awkward if he's out of the playoffs after the first round, I think.
Yeah. And that team has speed. I think they could fight back and get back through it, but
they haven't had a top 5 since Gateway, is it?
Wow. Really?
Yeah. It might even be top 10. I'm pretty sure it's just top 5 though.
I mean, they've been fast, right? Like, am I wrong? Like,
they finished they have 2 top 10s in the last 4 races.
Okay, so top 5.
Their last top 5 was Gateway.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
and I mean, after Gateway, if you include Pocono, they had 8 straight races outside the top 10. So, yeah.
Rough summer for Kyle Busch.
Thought they had been running better.
Nope. That's why the next gen car is so weird, because you also think that Kyle Larson has been running awful, but he's been running pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what is going on?
That's what happens when you win 10 races in the All-Star the year before.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
It's funny to look at, like this kind of season where he's like, oh, he's won 2 races and he's like 5th in points, and people are like, oh, what a disappointment.
Yep.
Kyle Larson's been
That's
anonymous.
a crazy juxtaposition to put on somebody.
Well, yeah, but he ran over Chase to win both of those races.
Yeah, well,
Here we go.
get out
Tough.
of
Get out of the way.
Tough.
Get out of the way as he blocks him into the wall for one of the incidents and absolutely just misses the corner lamp. Get out of the way. No, but Darlington was awesome. We have spent way too much time talking about it. That's on me. But Xfinity was even better of a finish in terms of pure racing.
What a race.
So Noah Gragson ends up winning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But speaking of Kyle Larson, he has a really good battle with Sheldon Creed. Matthew, here's your Sheldon Creed.
It's insane. Dude, I literally had the Sheldon Creed Thursday video queued up, and then I had to delete the tweet before I hit post. I was so mad.
Can you do your Sheldon Creed?
Oh, yeah. Sheldon Creed!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Racing. Creed is actually, I think he's 15 or 16 points off the bubble now behind Ryan C. and 12.
He's right around there. Let me check.
So, within striking distance with 2 races before the playoffs start there in the Xfinity Series. Kyle Larson, though, racing with a lot of respect. Roughed up Creed, not on purpose, because he let him get his momentum back, which I thought was a really cool move by Kyle.
Yeah.
Showing why he is a champion and why he's a good champion for the sport. Despite what some teammates of his would say, probably.
Oh.
But
that was
really
fantastic racing.
Also,
So good.
people that thought that Sheldon was like just trying to video game move it through 3 and 4, what do you not understand about a flat tire going into the corner? Right? Like Sheldon had a flat tire. Right? Like you saw that, I saw that.
He
flat.
sailed it into the corner, but he was expecting it to stick, but had a flat tire. And so he kind of just slammed the wall. It was like, oh, okay. I guess this is my life now.
He mad at it, and he tried to get it unstuck off the wall. He couldn't.
Yeah.
But
he's also 16 points behind Zeke.
Look at my brain.
Regardless, that racing was phenomenal. Sheldon Creed did a really good job defending those last 10 or so laps. I mean, just flawless. Really, really good. At some point, when the 2 cars behind you are that much faster than you, though, they're going to end up getting beside you. But really, up until that point, did a really good job keeping Larson behind him, who was the faster car by quite a bit. I was really impressed. I was actually very impressed. I didn't think Sheldon Creed kind of had that in him. No, he's good. He's obviously good. He's a good race car driver. Didn't know he had that in him, though. It was very smart defending. It was very cranial, and then obviously they're getting together in the final lap, but no one did anything wrong. No one. Larson didn't do anything wrong. Sheldon Creed didn't do anything wrong. That was just aggressive. That is as much contact as you can have without it being dirty driving. That was so much fun. Such a good race. Yeah, if you didn't watch that finish, you missed out.
I was really bummed out in the moment because I wanted Creed to get that. And I was ready to be mad at Larson, even though he's one of my guys. And then I saw them high five and having fun after the race, and I was like, all right, I can't be mad if Sheldon Creed's not mad. So
yeah, seriously,
no one did anything wrong.
Yeah. Exactly.
It was just short track racing.
Again, that is the most amount of contact you can have without it being dirty driving. That was just phenomenal.
Agreed.
It was aggressive, but yeah, it wasn't.
Oh, when aggressive goes around.
For the win. It was for the win at Darlington. That's classic stuff.
Great little finish to the race that got rain delayed in the middle, and Brandon Jones, I think, qualified on pole.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
Scott McLaughlin won at Portland. Cements himself as a top 10 driver in open wheel history, most likely.
Oh my God, no, I'm not even gonna. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Some people got really mad about it. We're not doing it.
Will Power, though, maintains his points lead, 20 over Scott Dixon and Joseph Newgarden.
I'm ready to count out Scott Dixon.
Sets up a very interesting Laguna Seca this weekend.
Absolutely no way that Scott Dixon wins this weekend.
You can't say that. You can't say that. You can't say that.
But the one thing I do want to look at, and I want to ask you guys about, where did Marcus Ericsson and crew go wrong?
Not by not selling Husky chocolate in America. That's where
that's number one. That's like number 1A. Number 1B is they didn't capitalize on their points lead at all. They just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, points lead. And they just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Just tried to, I don't know.
Conservative
just weren't
points
aggressive.
racing never works in IndyCar.
No.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
And by the time they started getting aggressive, it was too late.
Mm-hmm.
I
What
didn't even realize he's 39 points behind the leaders now.
Yeah. Like, stupid amount.
Yeah, they fell off a cliff.
Scott Dixon's going to win this damn championship.
It was an interesting race from Portland, though, right? I mean, it was nice to not have to have two TVs on to watch both races. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then you had Penis VK putting Johnson in the wall on the front stretch. That was dumb.
That was pretty dumb.
Yeah. It's just...
I saw...
all I have to say about that is not clear, so...
Do I need to buy you a spotter, bro? Come on.
You know that the... What is it? The correct thing by the worst person you know or something? What is it?
Oh, the worst person you know just made a great point.
Yes, that one.
that fake article, yeah.
I saw someone make a good point talking about, I don't know if it was that person specifically, maybe they just liked it, and that's how it came up. But
Are you thinking, is it David Land?
No.
Oh.
It's a friend of ours.
Oh, okay.
It was a joke.
Okay.
Okay.
I like how I just compared.
I
just compared our friend, whoever this is, to David Land. So I still don't know who it is that we're comparing him to, but they just got compared to David Land. So eat that one up.
Talking about what if Alonso, Jimmy Johnson, some of these other big names didn't come over IndyCar? What would the sport look like? What identity would it have?
I mean, I think they would still look like Indy cars, I'd imagine.
Shut up, man. Point being, series has had a lot of positive momentum from last year, and it feels like they failed to capitalize on it this year. Right? Am I wrong in thinking that? I mean, I would have liked to see Jimmy Johnson promoted more. I know he's run like crap. Sorry, Davey, but he has. Compared to the rest of the field. But sure, not the Olds. Whatever. Point being, like, promote him. Promote your Joseph Newgardens, even if people don't like him. I don't know why people don't like him, but whatever.
You're starting to sound like those people.
What?
Just market it better.
Well, not what I'm saying. Just
make social media posts.
Be selective in the drivers that you market and where and how you market them. Like, it's not just, go market them. Because if I market Jack Harvey, I don't think that's as and that's not anything to do with Jack Harvey.
Oh my god.
But 80% of casual motorsports fans aren't going to be able to relate with Jack Harvey off the drop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can more likely relate with a Joseph Newgarden who grew up in Nashville. I can more likely relate to Alexander Rossi if he would freaking do these things because, hey, look, haha, funny, he's the edgy emo kid from high school. Like, but do you get my point?
Yeah, I get it.
It's IndyCar takes hey, let's market everyone the same. When A driver needs to be marketed as A driver, B driver, B driver, C driver, C driver, D, E, whatever, all the way down the grid. You can market drivers, like that's what NASCAR did such a good job with that new blood versus old head, whatever you want to call it. Oh, look, the young guns are coming in. People are like, well, haha, look, the young guns sucked and the old guys won. Hey, look now, who's winning more of the races?
Yeah.
So it's not about the results that season. It's not about, Alexander Rossi going on a big tear next year with McLaren because you're marketing him. It's about getting fans and fan bases set up for when those drivers break through, when those drivers start having those good years, because that's when you're going to see the effects of the positive marketing you did in 2022 or 2023. And maybe we haven't seen the effects of the Defy Everyone or Everything, whatever the tagline is, which is a really good tagline.
Well, another, like a one that's coming to mind immediately is NASCAR obviously does this, but where they record all the drivers on like a stage and like doing different stuff, and then when they go to commercial, it's like, "We'll be right back. Chase Elliott leads," and it's him just like, like why not do some of that stuff,
And like that stuff is like that stuff's silly, but like that adds character.
Yeah.
Like that,
you're like, oh, that's what that guy looks like. Okay.
Yeah, adds character to the broadcast, adds character to the driver if they let him have a little bit of freedom with it. It's like, again, and when we talked about this when they were in when IndyCar was in Nashville, I think, with how a lot of drivers skipped the media, almost all but like 5 drivers skipped the media bullpen.
All of them except the Penske drivers.
And that is that right there tells you if
they weren't the Penske drivers, they might not have gone.
But things like that are a symptom of what we're talking about. And IndyCar, I feel like, markets well. I feel like I have to be careful when I phrase that. I think IndyCar's brand is good. I think IndyCar's marketing is good. But the way that they tell stories isn't thought out. Like, there isn't a cohesive message that's conveyed to a broadcast or conveyed to anyone who puts out IndyCar related content that tells a compelling story about anyone.
How are you fumbling the bag so hard with Lee Diffie being your lead commentator?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And I don't know if anyone else has ever noticed this, but it just feels like the IndyCar broadcasts are so disconnected from the sport itself. And the only time that they really do a good job is the Indy 500, but that's because that story writes itself.
Yeah, and like the commentary itself and the coverage is good, but like, there's no emotion to it.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Like, it doesn't feel like it's a part of IndyCar. It feels like someone showed up with a camera and they're talking about the race as it's happening. It doesn't feel like there's a fly buzzing around, but it doesn't feel, it never feels, it just never feels like it's ingrained. Like, I feel like when NASCAR shows up, there's a relationship. There's a symbiotic relationship with everyone that's at the racetrack. And I feel like with the IndyCar broadcast and then IndyCar
it's disjointed
as a culture, there's a fence.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. I definitely see what you're saying.
It makes the broadcast harder to follow, in my opinion. It doesn't tell as good a story. I mean, it's just all these things that we talk about every week that if they could just put all these pieces together, they really could capitalize on the great racing and the great characters.
No one's trying to say they need to pull the same TV numbers as F1, as NASCAR, they just need to see positive numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's a shame because the product's great.
Yeah.
And from what I can tell, the at-track experience for IndyCar in the last few years has been incredible. Okay, and it's only gotten better.
That's the Roger Penske effect, man. Like,
yes.
Dude knows how to promote his sport brick and mortar.
Mm-hmm.
It's about figuring it out on this TV side.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like Iowa, obviously, I know that was a high V thing, but at the end of the day, that relationship paid dividends. I mean, Iowa looked like a Grand Prix weekend kind of event. Like, it just looked another level, and it was good. It's a positive thing. I think, like, they're doing great there. Just need to fix the broadcast.
You can't have the little blip that they've had this year continue into next year.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as it is. But
yeah.
Do we want to talk about the F1 Red Bull drama at all? Because I didn't really see it, but I saw a lot of people complaining about it, so I put it on the show sheet. But also, who gives a crap at this point about F1? Because it's become a circus that people try to say NASCAR is, and F1's a freaking circus just as much, and it really makes me angry when people say just be like F1, and it's like, no.
Yeah, I'm not connected on the F1 drama this time. Sorry, boys.
From what I know, again, I couldn't watch the race. It was
team orders suck. All right.
Basically, Red Bull using AlphaTauri to manipulate the safety car and get Max Verstappen back in the place.
Is the accusation. That's not proven.
Yeah.
Remember, this isn't spin game.
They had done that with Toro Rosso a few times in years past as well, allegedly. So it's not new.
It's almost like if you have 4 out of 20 cars on the grid owned by the same team or same company, maybe they're going to collude with each other. Seems a little bit like a conflict of interest.
No.
You'd think.
Yeah. That and the Dutch fans were classy this week, so. Yeah.
Well, they always are,
Yeah.
man.
So,
Always are.
not making their people have their beef with Max Verstappen and
Not making that any
his
better.
fans. And they did not help themselves, especially by throwing flares at Lewis Hamilton. So one of them was a security worker.
That was funny.
A dude in uniform throwing shit on the track.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Just weird behavior. Anyway,
Okay.
they're at Monza this weekend.
Yeah, I didn't put that on here. Do we care, though?
Forza Ferrari. Carlos Sainz will qualify 6th and finish 8th. Charles Leclerc will qualify near the front, probably run near the front, finish 4th.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Also, are those yellow liveries real?
Oh, yes, I think they
That's
are.
cursed. That is truly cursed.
I love it. I think Ferrari yellow clears Ferrari red. Hot take. My little opinion.
Okay.
I like Ferrari yellow. Anyway,
Speaking
that's our
of
Formula One talk.
F1, hey folks, remember when you said, "Hey NASCAR, do Drive to Survive"? Hey, it premiered and it had worse TV numbers than Austin Dillon's Life in the Fast Lane, but also 10 p.m. start, probably not the way to go to
That
premiere
just
your new
proves
show.
that Austin Dillon is the best NASCAR driver. So
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard that from people.
Anyways, Davey and I watched it. Matthew did not get the opportunity to watch it yet. For anyone else that hasn't been able to watch it yet, it is for free on the USA Network YouTube channel. You can watch it right now.
The whole episode.
The whole episode. I don't know.
I recommend
I doubt they're going to do it for the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I hope that it's eventually on my favorite streaming service, Peacock.
Yeah.
So I had
You
to
gotta get sponsored by them eventually.
listen. Hey, I'd be
Nice.
down.
Hey,
I like Peacock. Peacock's good.
Rich Eisen show just moved off Peacock, so there's a slot open.
Did it
There
really?
we go.
Yeah, he's
What
on Roku now.
There we go. That's our end.
He's on Roku?
Yeah.
Listen. Hey. Listen. We have
What?
connections with Husky Chocolate. All we got to do.
Oh, we could get the
Get a
Fake
Husky-
Racers
get a-
podcast presented by
Husky-
Husky Chocolate on Peacock.
That's what I'm saying. Presented by Husky Chocolate, and we could be like, drinking my Husky Chocolate here. It's water because they don't sell it here, but
Yeah.
Husky Chocolate.
I'm gonna write with Sharpie on this, just Husky Chocolate.
I need a Husky Chocolate. I work at a sticker shop.
When they
It's
sell to
happening.
America, I'm drinking Husky Chocolate out of the JTN mug. I'm
Oh,
gonna
dude,
do it eventually.
I'm drinking
so.
Husky Chocolate out of the JTN cup. It got lost. So
The cup.
yeah,
I'm gonna
The
send you
cup
guys
cup.
pint glasses next.
Hell
Hopefully,
yeah.
hopefully it doesn't
Dude.
show up. Like,
I can't wait.
I wish they had shot
Davey's gonna-
glasses, man. That'd be
Davey's
pretty
gonna get a
sick.
box of sand.
The worst part is, I'm pretty sure their printing facility is down there, like around Jacksonville,
oh, dude, I'll just go up and get another one.
or maybe it's in
But the-
Alabama.
Race for the Championship Series.
Close to-
Moving
good.
on. I thought it was good. I have my problems with it, but
Do you want to start there?
it was very good. Let's start with the good because
Okay.
I thought all the stuff away from the track was phenomenal.
Humanize the drivers a little bit more than we've seen in the past.
Yeah, that conversation between Kyle Larson and Jeff Gordon was really awkward.
Well,
'Cause
that
they
was one
tried
of
to-
those forced things.
They tried to act like a camera wasn't in there, which I think would have been cool if they maybe like stuck a little camera in the corner, then walked out like a static camera.
Yeah.
You know, kind of more Drive to Survive style, where like you have the access, but you're not influencing it by like a guy holding a camera looking at you. Yeah, a little awkward, but that's just kind of like a different. I know a lot of people have their complaints with Drive to Survive this year, but at the end of the day, that's just like a difference in the quality of crew. Obviously, Drive to Survive was massively popular because it told a really compelling story. A really talented crew worked on it and made that happen.
Very talented crew for this other.
I struggle to believe they're more talented or as talented as the original Drive to Survive crew.
They
but that's
probably don't
okay.
have as much money, too. Don't
That's
forget, this
also
is
fair.
a show at 10 p.m. on the USA Network.
Yeah.
That's also fair. I can tell that there's not as much access with the teams, which I think is unfortunate and is going to be the downfall of the show. Good.
Counterpoint, that allows them to put more of the actual drivers' lives into the show.
But I don't like.
I know you don't care, and I get
Like,
what
I
you're
don't-
going for, But I think this show isn't going to try to show you the inner workings of a NASCAR team. I think it's going to show you the inner workings of a race car driver's brain. I think that's what they're going for.
I think there's something to that, but I do want to see more stuff at the shop.
I agree with you.
It doesn't have to be like working on race cars. I don't care about that.
No.
But there's a lot of work that goes on at the race shop, or a lot of work that a driver does. Like the stuff with the driver's kids is cool and all, but like for example, Daniel Suarez training at Trackhouse with that little dot thing. That was great. I loved that. Daniel Suarez working out at the shop. I think those are really cool shots. But like Joey Logano watching his kid drive a Power Wheels around, I don't like. It's cool. It humanizes them. It's really nice. I care about that less. But that's not a negative point that I have with the show. That's just something that I would prefer personally.
Can I just say, Joey Logano having his wife as contact as my hot ass wife has the same energy as that ninja tweet about his braless wife bringing him a sandwich while he plays League of Legends. So.
but Joe Logano has a significantly cooler career, to be fair.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he's not ninja. So.
He's also not a Detroit Lions fan.
Yeah, that too.
Ooh.
Ooh. But overall, I really like the away from the track stuff, even though it's not what I prefer. It was cool. Kyle Larson going through his shop of race cars and stuff was cool. I liked all that.
And walking by the iRacing Sims was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was watching it with a buddy and I totally made a joke about it.
Nothing of significance happened here, you guys.
He just walked right by it and I'm like, oh man, there's where the thing happened.
If you know, you know.
It would have been a good joke if they were like, anything special about this? And he'd just be like, nope.
When they finally got to LA for the Clash, I really liked the communication and the garage area and stuff like that.
Being in the hauler was really cool.
The hauler, I like the practice coverage, and I like some of the. I struggle with this because I know this happens in every show, and it even happens in Radioactive. But the radio stuff being kind of chopped up, I was a little disappointed by, but I expect it.
Yeah.
Davey's problem. Here it is.
Yeah,
I already know what his problem is.
My main problem, and it bugs me to no end, and I knew it was going to be a thing because it's a thing in every racing-related show. Too much damn time was spent on the racetrack for the race. And I think that sounds like a weird complaint, but hear me out. Formula One's Drive to Survive stuff, there's a lot of time spent on the racetrack during the race. I feel like this works for Formula One because a lot more can be done from the pit box. A lot more can be done as a team with the characters that they invest time into, like Gunther Steiner and the drivers and everyone involved and, journalists and broadcasters. There's a lot more going on during a Formula One race as a whole.
There's a lot more going on, but there's less people, so it's all more concentrated. You don't have to follow 40 cars around or 40.
Whereas if you are a NASCAR race, the extent of what you can do from the pit box is press this little button right here and say, all right, XYZ thing. And I'm sorry, but we don't have to drag that out. We can make the race about 5 minutes shorter in the show because it dragged on and they made the last 10 laps they made it feel longer in the show than it actually was in the race. We don't need all that. Get to the race, get to the nitty gritty. It was really funny. They kept using the same 3 shots for the last laps of the race where Kyle Busch and Joey Logano are really close. And then they show the actual checkered flag lap right after that where the gap is a straightaway. And it's just we didn't have to do all that. We didn't have to push it along. We didn't have to add suspension that wasn't needed. I get it. And I get that to an extent that we can add that, but add it in the middle of the race and then shorten the actual ending of the race up. And, we can restructure how the race is presented to us and have a much more compelling, section of the show and then focus a little more on post-race, which I felt the post-race was very brief.
Yeah.
And I feel like that would be the most interesting part, which...
Sorry.
No, you're good. I feel like post-race debriefs and meetings and stuff in the hauler or at the shop on Monday or Tuesday would do us much better than filler content of cars going around a racetrack with random radio messages that were plucked from 400 laps earlier in the race.
I think this episode in specific was with it being the pilot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think some of those issues you won't see that you brought up, you won't see as much.
I would like to believe that.
I would think that episodes, maybe this next week's episode probably just focuses on the Daytona 500 because the Daytona 500 is that event.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe episodes after that are looking at 3-4 races.
Right.
So there's still some things there where they're not going to be able to show that much race footage because they have all these other things to go through. And that's maybe where they show some more of the post-race stuff. Like, I would think this next week's episode, the start of it's going to be a lot of post-race stuff.
It'd be nice.
From the Coliseum race. One thing I really liked, they were following them at testing at Phoenix.
I forgot to mention that. That was really cool.
And having Chase Elliott and Alan Gustafson's conversation about the brakes on the car and some different issues, and I completely forget, it's slipping my mind because I watched it on Friday.
They couldn't pump the brakes.
But there was other stuff too, like that have been issues that we've seen with this car throughout the year. Was cool. I don't know. That might just be me. I don't think it is, but I thought that was kind of
you're right. I totally
pointed
forgot
out these issues.
That was one of the cool parts. Yeah.
All the way back in February, and we're only starting to hear about them and see them now. So, I don't know, but really cool show. Again, I hope they make it more available to people. It's kind of hard giving them a 10 p.m. time slot on the USA Network for a docuseries. Not that there aren't really, I don't know if there's really any other good time slots. But then again, you know, it works out pretty well for the West Coast, so. You know, they like that West Coast LA market.
That's why they should just put it on Peacock.
It probably is. It might already be, or it will be, probably. Would be my guess, eventually.
Yeah. Anyway, that was much like my explanation about my negative points. Didn't have to drag the race on that long.
IndyCar is at Laguna Seca this weekend. It's the championship race. I don't know what time it starts. Might be going head to head with NASCAR.
Oof, that sucks.
Yeah. Not sure.
That stinks, dude.
Because I doubt it's a 1 p.m. start on the West Coast.
3 p.m. Eastern, so noon here.
Yeah. So, you thinking about going? Or is that like really far away?
It's a few hours away, but it's going to be like 110 degrees all week, so.
Okay, yeah.
Ew.
We were planning on going to this place called Frogtown to go BMX racing this weekend for a state qualifier, and that's up in the air because it's just so hot.
Yeah.
So.
But 20 points separate Power from Newgarden and Dixon. Give me your champion, and if they're different from the race winner.
Scott Dixon.
I think Dixon wins the race, but I think Power holds on for the title.
Let me be clear. I'd like for Power to hold on to the title. I want Power to win. But Dixie.
I worry about Will Power's consistency this year. He's brought it as of late.
Yeah.
But early in the year, it didn't feel like this 12 team was as consistent, at least top 5 consistent, maybe top 10 consistent, which top 10 consistent doesn't win you championships in IndyCar.
It's also hard to ignore. He's had these, late race or even season finale, collapses before. Not to say that he's going to, but
nonetheless,
that's got to be in the back of your mind.
I'm picking him for the championship. I'm picking Colton Herta to win the race. In his last race before he leaves for F1.
Yeah, and he replaces Max Verstappen. So. Ew.
NASCAR is in Kansas this weekend.
It is.
Trucks, who you got? Davey's got Parker Klingerman or Ryan Preece. Which one you picking?
Yes, both of them.
All right, cool.
They're gonna tie.
Matt.
I'm feeling dumb. Give me Brett Moffitt because he's running the race.
I'm gonna take Carson Hocevar. It's gotta not make a mistake eventually. Xfinity.
Insane. Ooh.
Brandon
Jones.
Damn it. You get him.
Yeah.
It was perfectly synced up on my end.
I know. Who you want, Matt?
Give me Josh Berry.
All right, I'm taking Sheldon Creed then, because that was my second pick.
That is nuts that we both said Brandon Jones at the exact same time. Why did we say? I mean, he's good.
Because he's won there. Yeah. Didn't
he also wreck in the middle of the straightaway here once too?
A Cup Series.
Changing the subject.
I'm picking first, Bubba Wallace. I called it at the start of the show. I'm going crazy for the playoffs, man. Erik Jones just won at Darlington.
Chris Buescher.
Ooh, dang.
I'm feeling wild. Got to get 18 winners.
Kyle Larson.
Ross Chastain.
Fair enough. But it's going to be a good weekend of racing, folks, as it always is. Monza's this weekend, too, but we do not care.
Yeah.
Because F1 doesn't care.
Fair. It's true.
Fix the super license system. Anyways, folks, cannot thank you enough for watching the Fake Racers podcast this week. Remember to like the video down below, subscribe, like us on your podcast platform if you're listening. We appreciate you folks out there in podcast land. Might even have left the Davey slip of the F word in there. Probably not, though, because now I said something and now I got to get rid of it.
Oh, man.
That was a mental note for me, for all the podcast listeners out there. We're going to have some new content coming here on the channel, I think, on JTN2. Matt, you want to tell the folks about it?
Yeah, back by unpopular demand. That's right. It's Oofsides. We put it together. We recorded our season 1 preview or week 1 preview today.
How long was it?
It's probably going to be split into 2 episodes because it was 2 hours. So,
okay. So what did I tell you guys to do?
Joe,
I don't care.
Oofsides is a clearly inferior show. We've talked about this.
We're at an hour right now, but brother, 2 hours.
We got really carried away talking about Brian Flores and Deshaun Watson, so like very carried away.
I don't know if I want this on my channel now.
No, it's good. So we didn't have Jack there, so it was respectful conversation. So
yeah, we're gonna have to talk about a couple of things with that group, aren't we?
I can edit Jack out. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you got the audio all split, right? You just take them out.
Yeah, exactly. I can mute him individually.
Just delete him.
But no, it was a good episode. It's probably going to be split into 2, but if it's not, there's a 2-hour episode of Oofsides coming out soon.
It should just be, just make it a 2-hour episode. Or just split it up by topic and then put the podcast out in long form. You could do that too.
This is nuts.
Algorithms, Davey, algorithms. But again, we're JTN, and by JTN I mean me. Very happy for you guys to bring Oofsides over to JTN too. It's give us some more stuff, and it was a fun show last year, and you guys have a lot of fun doing it. And trying to give you guys a little bit of a bigger.
We already birthed our first meme of the year, so
okay,
can't wait for that.
And there's no videos associated with that, folks. So if you like seeing Matt's face, again, the only place you can do that is right here on the Fake Racers podcast, because Disqualified just doesn't happen anymore, apparently. Especially with Oofsides starting now, so it's going to be harder for Matt. Now he's got 2 podcasts he's got to do. Oh boy! Oh,
God, I got 3 if you count this.
That's what I was saying. You're not going to do Disqualified because you already got 2.
We're going to do Disqualified.
Okay. Still waiting for episode 3.
Is this show over yet?
Nope. Davey, you got any links, or are you just being sassy over there?
Oh, I'm sassy.
All right. Davey's links are down in the video description below.
Okay.
Matt's links are down in the video description below. The JTN links are down in the video description below. Tommy's links, for some reason, are probably down there in the video description below. Cannot thank you folks enough, as always, for watching. Again, leave us a review, comment, do all those stuff. We appreciate it when you do. With that being said, though, we'll see you guys next week on the Fake Racers podcast.
You guys think this sounds like a pirate ship?
Bye, guys. Thanks for watching or listening.